Welcome to Roadrunner Predictions. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the XFL. Let's go ahead and dive into it, shall we? Today we have a matchup between New York Guardians versus DC Defenders. I'm going to go ahead and take New York Guardians +7. I think their defense was proven to be too good compared to what we saw last week pertaining into – what we saw last week was actually quite phenomenal. So with the defensive coach in mind, it really showed on the kids' attitude and their gameplay. I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the stats of everyone real quick and then go in from there. Number 8, ranked for QB last week and after week 1, Matt McGloin. He went 15 out of 29 pass attempts for 52% for 182 yards and had 1 touchdown. They have New York Guardians have 8th running back, Darius Victor. He had 9 attempts and 32 yards and 3.6 average a carry. No one else placed in the running back. A lot of the teams had running backs placing in the top 10 or top 15, but New York Guardians were not in that. But I definitely liked Matt McGloin's passion. He seemed to really have the attitude and wanted to really go get it. He's like, hey, listen, we're here to win. We're here to get that bonus money. The extra 100,000 a game if they win, whoever's on the active roster. For receiving, they have the number 7th receiver, Mikael McKay, with 3 receptions, 58 yards. They also have the number 14th wide receiver, Pearsons, 2 receptions, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown. Touchdowns don't come cheap in this league. It costs them a lot. And it seems like a lot of people are trying to – or not as many people got in the end zone as they were even expecting with those over-unders. A huge adjustment on them. They went from 51 on average to 43 points. And then the second-tier games on Sunday of last week were at 53, and that dropped down to 50 to 47s and 46s. So it's just key notes that they're starting to lock in on that. We also have tackles. We had 2 tackles from defensive end. Rodney, 9 tackles. Then Ben Haney had 9 tackles. And number 9, DeJuan Hines, linebacker, he had 7. And Bryce Jones, quarterback, had 6. The New York Guardians defense kind of owns the stat chart. So after week 1, goes to show you how good they actually played. Sack leaders, they have the number 1, Wesley Sutton, safety with 2 sacks. No one else had 2 sacks in week 1. And Bryce Jones and Andrew Soros have 1 interception apiece. So that was 2 interceptions for New York Guardians. Now I'm going to touch on the DC Defenders. DC Defenders have number 2 quarterback, Cardell Jones. He was 16-26 for 62%. He played probably the best for all quarterbacks, even overall, once you get his rushing numbers in there, what he did for the team. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Running back, number 10 position goes to DC Defenders with Jorrell Presley with 12 attempts, 31 yards, 2.6 carries. Didn't seem like he did a lot for the game, but he definitely was a help control the game for DC Defenders. But that 2.6 carries is not where you want to be. So I wonder if they're going to mix things up just a little bit, but definitely put in power and put in place. They also have number 12 running back. Actually, it wasn't a running back at all. It's no surprise, Cardell Jones. He finished with 9 attempts, 28 yards, 3.1 carry. So even over-prevailed the running back position. For wide receivers, this helps them, though, a lot, having 3 on the top 25 list. Number 4, Eli Rogers, 6 receptions, 73 yards. And 8th, Rashad Ross, 2 receptions, 52 yards. And then number 19th, Kahari Lee, 1 reception, 39 yards, and 1 TD. So he definitely owned that one play. Hey, he's at 100%, right? Tackles, they have the 6th, Jameer Thurman, linebacker, 8. And then they have sacks, number 3, Jonathan Mesquise, defensive. And then for interceptions, they also have 1 or they have 2 interceptions, one by Raheem Moore, safety, and then Bradley Silve, cornerback, with 1. There's 9 interceptions in week 1, and in that between these 2 teams, they had 4 of the interceptions. So they literally had almost half the league's interceptions just in between these 2 teams, which would go to make you think that maybe the under is going to play in. I'm not sure where it's at. Usually I always write it up. I didn't even look. I don't know why. Usually I think it's like 43 something. So I definitely like to play on the under with the way these defenses play. And if DC defenders are actually able to tear off, I think this is a good enough New York Guardians team to actually control the game and lock them back down and bring it back up into the 7 points. And that's why I like them. Well, that's the Roadrunners prediction for Game 1 walking through this Saturday. It's about to start here pretty soon. Like always, good luck on all your bets and take care. Thanks for hanging out the Roadrunner.